Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, 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 sir. We are back, live and direct, live from the Hood Dome. You know what I mean, not the Thunderdome, the Hood Dome.
When is that going away, by the way?
Say it again.
I said, when is that going away, by the way?
Never. They're moving it to wherever Mania is at this year, Florida. Tropicana Park, I think, in Tampa.
Oh, okay.
So that's never moving. But we ain't never moving because you can't take the hood out of us, even if you take us from the hood. You know what I mean?
Especially Drew.
That's why Drew is the hood. I mean,
I am.
the Applebee's hood, not the real hood.
He wears the hoodie.
He definitely
I bleed these streets.
With what? Epsom salt? Drew think he Tyreek now. This is the conglomerate known as the No Power Podcast. Don't worry about our bickering and battling. We're good. My name is Total Mac, aka TBD Mac, aka Next Gen Mac. In the building. Joined as always, starting first with my man Swervy Lee, aka SVS Swerve, aka Swollen Pile, FKA Yoko Tuna, aka Swervy Atmos, aka Young Fish Dinner.
It's pretty good. I was thinking just now when you said as always, and I was like, damn, I wasn't always here, and I tried to be. And I go back to that episode, I forget which one it was, where I threw up midway and came back to work. And I was just like, damn, that was all for nothing.
You funny. Yeah, you was definitely, that was a throwback. Go in the archives, go SoundCloud. I forgot what episode that was, but yeah, it wasn't nothing pretty. You was definitely
double digits, right?
Yeah. You was definitely on the IR. Me and Drew, I don't know how we made it through that episode, but we did. But who's always here, as always, his name is No Chill Drew, aka EGB, aka the Applebee's Don, aka Dollarita Drew, aka come on, man. Crack it open. What's good?
Wait, did you give yourself a nickname?
Who?
You.
What nickname is that?
Next Gen Mac?
I mean, come on. What do you expect?
he did slip that in.
You're playing PlayStation more on Xbox. I think you should be named Thank Your Wife Mac.
Listen. I you know what?
Or Wifey Knows Best Mac.
Barry Mac is not gonna even repeal anything you're saying. You're right, Drew.
Giving yourself a nickname. Get the fuck out of here.
Listen, she gave me that nickname, but she put me in a spot to have a name. I mean, what you want me to do?
Give yourself a nickname.
I'm not anymore. So,
in that case, when Cyberpunk comes out, I could be Two Dick Drew.
I'm just saying, bro. Sicky Bella.
Wait, can you really have two of those in that game? I didn't know. I heard somebody say that before, but I wasn't sure if that was a thing.
I believe so. So I'll be walking around with two hoses. When I say hoses, I mean long ass trunks.
My man said he's gonna be Octocock around here.
Exactly.
God.
Be a weapon.
Drew, hentai, bro. Enough.
Be like Michelangelo from the Ninja Turtles, just walk around with a nunchuck in my pants.
Drew. Enough.
He's got 2 Wii remotes for the single player game.
And they both have batteries.
Gotta stay Wii fit.
Oh my goodness. you cracked open was it that you know what I gotta rewind for a minute. That can open was like lackluster as hell. So
it was a little bit farther away from the microphone. I didn't want to get it all over the screen.
it wasn't Arizona. I know that for sure. It was a monster.
Mountain Dew.
Damn, I was close. Damn.
Can you
We're
just
talking about Mountain Dew energy drink, right?
No, just it was that weird one that's like all the berries. It's like that new red one.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Can we put in request, Drew? Can you get Surge next week?
I'll get Surge next week.
For the record,
remind me though, because I'm definitely gonna forget.
Only person who wants that is Swerve.
I don't want it for me though. I want it for Drew.
He's the only one who wants to open up a Surge container.
Just for one episode, I want to be right, damn it.
To be fair though, since I am a fan of AEW, Surge is fitting because they are pulling the new WCW, aren't they?
Oh my God, we are gonna talk about that. Yeah. How was you guys' weekends?
Pretty
short.
bland.
Yeah, a breeze, too short. Yeah.
I got a little bit of next gen experience.
Courtesy
Courtesy of Mac.
We we definitely social distance and game. What were your thoughts, man? Share with the people real quick if you could.
You know, it immediately, I'll say the one thing that stood out other than, you know, a couple of graphical refinements that were made on some games that we played, it really was the loading. When I got back home to my Peasant 1X and PS4 Pro, and what was I playing? I was trying to play something. I forgot the name of the game. It was not important, but anyway, it was like I said. I was thinking to myself, well, damn, why is this taking so long to get to the? You know, I just died. Can I get back to the screen already? So that load really messes you up when you got to come back. You know, home to what you got. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of wish I almost didn't even touch it.
Yeah, I know it's kind of what's the word I want to use for it? It's kind of sucky. I'm just gonna use like a 2-year-old word. Kind of sucky when you go somewhere and you see something, and then you go back home and yours is like an older version, and you're just like, "Yo, I want to play that one, or I want to do the more next gen version of this one."
Yeah, but you know, I never had that feeling when I had a Super Nintendo and I went to go play my friend's Sega Genesis. I felt good when I went home.
Well, those are similar consoles. But if you went over to somebody's house who had a PlayStation, and then you come home to play your Sega Genesis, then you're like, yo, we are poor as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, there were some definitely graphical improvements that I noticed. Like Spider-Man looked really good. But it wasn't anything jaw-dropping. But I will say, just as a complete package with the loading, graphical improvements, and what other thing am I missing here that we some of the feeling and things like that. In the $500 package, it does feel like a complete package, and that's for both of the consoles. It's really on the games themselves to provide you what they want to give you. Like I noticed I think 2K looks better than Madden. That's just off the rip, you know.
But that's to be expected. Madden is hot garbage.
No, chill, Drew. No, not the next gen. No, don't say that. It's not.
It's just that you have to look at Madden a little harder than you have to do 2K. I'll just put it like that in order to see what has changed. You know how you walk in someone's house and you're at the doorway still, and you just glance at the screen and you're like, oh snap, what's that? Or who that? You wouldn't say that looking at some of the games. I'll just put it like that.
Let me just ask this: besides the graphics, what's changed on Madden this year for next gen?
Motherfucker, you talking like you know the answers already. So go ahead and tell us.
Nothing.
You're
I
wrong.
didn't actually play it, but I did watch the video. Most of the guys that were talking about it were saying the movement. So Matt can confirm if that's true or not.
The movement is different. That's the you have more player archetypes on there that are true to feel. There is a big difference between PS5 and Xbox's Madden version. I just played PS5 earlier.
And what is that though?
The controller.
Oh, okay. You just talking about okay. So the feel of it then.
Yeah, with the haptics. Huge.
Okay.
You're not getting it. You're not getting that on the regular Madden 21. Not, and then the most eye noteworthy would be the play call screen. That totally has been revamped. The sidelines look different. It's a different game. There's like a new commentary lines on there. There's next gen stats are on the game. It's a different game than the regular gen Madden. I'm just telling you that now. It's different.
Oh, there's next gen stats, so I get to hear, hey, this guy scored 4 touchdowns in a row. It's the first time somebody in a Bears uniform has done that since 1914.
That's not.
Don't ask us how we know this.
Bro, did you wear your butt plug today? Because
what's that?
Did you wear your butt plug today? Because you sound a little butt hurt.
Yeah, I've been trying out an exercise.
Go big or go home, huh?
Exactly.
Topic, please. I'm just saying, there's probably a bigger difference gameplay wise in Madden than there is in 2K, but graphically 2K looks different more so than what Madden does. But the movement definitely looks more realistic, and it is a step in the right direction. However, EA Sports, hey, if you worked for Electronic Arts in Tiburon or EA Canada, and you're listening to me right now, got a couple things. So Swerve, I would come up with a list. Here's a couple of things on my list. Let's get more referees in the game, okay? You've got the manpower in these consoles to do it. Get a female referee in the game. There's female referees all over the place now. You need to get assistant coaches on the field. They are calling plays. They're up in their press box. Little cut scene here and there of them holding up a playbook or showing them in the booth. That wouldn't matter. Show the owners. That's something you can do. Little stuff to make the realism of the game feel better. That's where 2K excels in their game. You also, on the franchise mode, you got 1,000 requests to get shit fixed there. But just here's a couple. Why don't you give us more flexibility with a salary cap? The salary cap needs work bad. It needs to be explained better, maybe implement a better system for it, where we can understand how player contracts work in our team, or give us flexibility on how to control it. Can it go up? Can it go down? Can you get rid of it? Can you bring it back? Because currently you can't. And while I'm off my soapbox, one last thing, Madden, got to get some more commentary in there. Got to get some new guys in there. You got to do it like how NHL did it, where you have multiple teams that broadcast games. 2K has it. You all can do it. Bring that TV feel to the game. I know it's
Did
possible.
you say that was one of the upgrades?
It wasn't.
Oh, I thought you said the commentary was one of the upgrades.
No, it was. I'm not saying get rid of these people. I'm just saying you can add a Troy Aikman and Joe Buck. You can add Tony Romo.
Gotcha.
You can add Phil Simms, or not Phil Simms, Jim Nance. You could add different commentary teams on top of, the guys that you have in there now with Gordon and I forget the other person's name. But realism. Let's add that back. So I have to say about that. Oh, one more thing, not Madden related, but shout out to Sony, who I think released some new firmware, and I downloaded it on my TV, and this has been the smoothest my TV has been running. I would have issues with my Wi-Fi. I would have issues with the sound. I'd
Oh,
have
that's
it.
what you meant.
Yeah, cutting it off. Everything's been good so far. Downloaded it yesterday, 2 days. Everything's been going smooth. I know that there was like a 120 hertz blur issue. They've allegedly corrected that. I never saw that, but I hope whatever update was pushed out was going to correct the stuff that I did or I saw. So shout out to Sony if that's really what you did. Appreciate it. I feel like I finally have a TV that is worth every penny that I paid for it.
Well, they apparently they released it the same way they released the consoles, half baked.
Um, this definitely was a Dave Chappelle release.
For those listening, yes, this is a wrestling podcast. We will be getting to it eventually, but I did want to just comment on one more thing.
Hold on, Swerve. One last
what's that?
thing. I'm playing Spider-Man, right? And I'm getting out of like I don't know. You haven't well, you played it, but you didn't play it. Drew, you played it, right?
Yes.
The Amazing Spider-Man, not Morales, but the first one.
Yeah, I played the first one.
So you know how like the blotters comes up and you have to stop the demons?
Yeah.
Okay, so I get done with that. So then I'm perched on, I don't know, some building in New York. I don't see Spider-Man. Where the hell is he? Oh, so then I start swinging and I can see the web. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So I'm just looking and out of nowhere I see a small white rectangle. And I'm moving my controller, and as I'm moving it, the white rectangle's moving. I'm just like, come on, man. So Spider-Man is now turned into a white box.
So I didn't have any issues with that when I played. I'm assuming that now is this like a port to the PS5?
What do you mean?
What like is this like the PS4 version or a PS5 version?
It's the remastered one that he's had.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm assuming that when they remastered it, they just like sloppily slapped it on PS5 and then really worked on Miles Morales. So that's why you have so many bugs in your system.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have any of those issues.
Yeah. And it's a digital download, if that means anything too.
Yeah, so it seems like they did not do too many quality tests on the original Spider-Man because they're like, yeah, it's good, just slap it on there. But really just made sure Miles Morales is going to work.
Yeah. But I mean, overall, so far, so good with that game. I just had to start it and I was good to go. Restart Spider-Man. But that's been my only qualm. But Xbox has been very good. No hiccups with that.
Yeah. The last thing I wanted to comment on was Call of Duty. And the simplest way I can put that is it looks like I was playing a current gen Call of Duty on PC.
So, okay, so let me ask you this then.
Or I should say last gen.
Because your boy said graphically he didn't notice anything.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't see anything like jaw dropping. What he really meant. I mean, obviously there's a difference, but he was just saying like, yeah, I don't look all that different to be.
Do you subscribe to that? From what you saw, do you subscribe to that same logic as well, or what do you think?
It just looks, like you're like it's more it's higher res version of a game like the one I have now. The feel, I mean, I can comment on the feel, but it's a different game, so I don't think it's a different group behind that, so I don't think it makes sense to really compare that because it's not the same as Warzone that I play, but I feel like Warzone is faster. But yeah, I mean, things are sharper and the sound is there, but it's always been there for Call of Duty. So as far as things to say that what anything major, nothing really major there. Like I said, it just looks like you're playing something that would have been super up-res on last gen on that version now. Which is not a bad thing. That's just how it looks. You know what I'm saying? It's not anything like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I would like for Call of Duty actually to have on any other maps and you can, because I don't play every single one, so I don't know if they've had it yet. But I would like to see just like some different weather. I mean, weather is always a good way to kind of show off what if you can do that in a multiplayer match. I'm sure it's in the campaign, but I would like to see like different weather, just rain or snow or something like that when you're in some of these maps, and that'll kind of give you um, an idea more of what the system can do. Because everything that you in Call of Duty is just dry, dusty, dirty land, in a warehouse somewhere. It's just the same stuff. So it looks hella sharp, but it's really nothing to it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that would be sweet if they could have like the elements on Team Deathmatch. That would be pretty sweet. But yeah, I agree. Um, well, I mean, again, I'm gonna reiterate what Swervy said. This is a wrestling pod, but sometimes we get off kilter a little bit. Uh, y'all want to tell me what the hell's going on with 2077 or what?
It's supposed to come out tomorrow, right?
Still coming out as far as we know.
I haven't been hearing anything good about it. What the fuck?
I think though people who had it are, people who got it early, whatever, are getting their hands slapped because they were trying to talk about it, and the developers don't like that. So some people might be saying, you know, bad things in that response. Like I watched a video on somebody who was talking about the game, and they were saying nothing but good things, right? So not even a couple hours later, they was live streaming about how they told them they had to take the video down. So then they was giving you their real feelings. So I was like, you can't trust nobody online, man. People just say whatever they got to say in order to, uh, keep the ball rolling. But the minute you upset them, they're gonna tell you what they really feel. So it
It
was just
really
fun.
feels like people are getting, just butthurt over the fact that they can't be the first one to stream it. Like they
Yeah,
got an early copy because of a pre-order, and they want to be the first one to stream it, and because they can't, and they can't get famous, they're pissed.
yeah, yes, yeah. It was just funny to see that though, like because it happened within a span of a couple hours. I said, "Damn, he already salty about it." But I mean, I've seen other like good, I won't say reviews, but overviews of the game. I mean, of course, it's gonna have bugs. You're not gonna be able to escape that. The game took like what 8 years to cook.
Yeah,
Doesn't mean they ironed out everything, and you never will. It's always gonna be something that you won't, that'll get past you. But the thing that you need to know, especially for you, next gen Mac, is if you did buy the game, you won't be playing the next gen version until sometime next year.
yo, and this is something that I learned that was some dirty dancing that EA was doing. So I'm playing. So I preloaded my Madden. So this is before the next gen version was released, which was on the 4th, Friday. So I put the Madden in. My initial thoughts: wow, this looks better already. Cool. So now I am just waiting for the next gen version to release because I want to come in fresh. I don't want to have the old Madden plaguing my view and having that affect how I'm viewing the new game. So I download the new game. I play it. I'm loving it. I'm not falling in love. I'm lusting. Um, so then I'm like, all right, let me see who's online. So I go to my friends list, and you know how you can add someone within a game.
Hmm.
Only 3 people showed up on my friends list. I'm like, yo, I clearly have more people playing Madden 21 right now than 3 people. Why are they not showing up? So then it hit me. I'm like, yo, this is 2 different games. Because I'm like, I think this is just an extension of the regular Madden because it's like, oh, the free add-on if you get the new consoles. You don't have to pay the $10 upgrade fee. Just um, purchase the game. You're good to go. I'm like, all right. So why can't I play this Madden with people who are still on a 1, on a 1X, or on a 1S? Apparently, it's two different games. I could still play old Gen Madden or previous Gen Madden, and I could play the new, or what I would call current Gen Madden or next Gen Madden. And I'm like, yo, this is really crazy. I wonder why this is. And I just thought EA should have explained that more because I couldn't carry over a franchise that I was playing on my 1S. So now I had to start a whole new franchise, and it was just a big, big scene, and I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, that's nuts that they did that. I mean, there shouldn't be an upgrade fee at all when you think about it. That should just not even be a thing for any game, because if anybody owns a souped-up PC, their game is upgraded. You know, because they have all of the power to do it. So why are you paying an upcharge for that? I just don't get that part.
Well, I'm already going to tell my boys who I play a franchise with, hey, look, you know what it is. You know what it is for several months now. Please get familiar. Upgrade, or you need to get away from me.
See how they got people acting bougie now.
Oh, I'm very listen. At first, man, you did this to me, man. I'm very bougie, man. Very. Sorry tomorrow. But no, yeah, that's all I got for the gaming talk amongst us.
Well,
Well, Drew,
before we get
bring us in
into
so I can check on my pork chop.
before we get into AEW, we should probably address the bad news that occurred this past week.
Yeah.
Since you always have me do it, I might as well, do it now. Pat Patterson passed away. He passed away at the age of 79. Official cause of death was liver failure caused by a blood clot. Pat Patterson, a lot of times when we talk about people pass away, a lot of times we have to look at their accomplishments and really I don't want to say dig deep, but there's a lot of times that it's like, yeah, he won championships in places that people wouldn't know about, right? Pat had his hands on pretty much every major storyline, that we grew up with.
Yep.
Well, he was the inventor of the Royal Rumble, right?
He was. He invented the Royal Rumble. He was the first Intercontinental Champion. For a long time, he was one of three main bookers in WWE. So he had his hands on a lot of stuff. Pause. And yeah, I mean, aside from, I'm not going to get into the negative side that is speculated, but he is going to be missed. That he is going to be somebody who you're not going to get another one of. You're not going to get another guy like Pat Patterson to come around and be like, yeah, I got a lot of ideas. I mean, even if you got a guy with some ideas, you're not going to find a guy with that many.
Yeah, he was a trailblazer and everything in the fashion. He, I want to say he almost transcended the world of professional wrestling just because of the innovative ideas or the first.
All right, man. No more T words, man.
What you
just
mean?
said trailblazing and transcendent. Don't do any more T words, man. Come on. Those are all the words I hear with somebody.
He did. That's what it is.
I know, man, but come on.
Well, he was also the first wrestler to be openly gay. And he was doing it in the 70s, which I'm sure was not the easiest time to do that. He even wrote a book about it. It sucks that he passed away, and he will be missed.
Yeah, I just remember my childhood. The Corporation was like one of my favorite factions ever, and I know Swervy, Drew, wrestling purist. You're not gonna like that, but fuck you. Him and Del Ritmo just going around, just causing ruckus in the back.
I was forced to like the corporation. The Rock was in it.
It was good. It was good, and I liked it a lot. And I can just remember those two being by Vince's side, and then I remember them on the stage dancing when Vince got sighted by Stone Cold. And it was like those guys love what they did. They wrestled forever. And Pat Patterson just, if you go on Twitter, you see Vince, you see Steph, you see Triple H, just talking about what he meant to them as a family. And you just, work is work, but sometimes when you have somebody like that in your life, man, they just bring joys and they bring meaning to your life. So Pat Patterson, I think that's what he did for the McMahon family and as a whole for the wrestling family.
He was the last championship he won was actually a 24/7 championship.
I remember when he came back, we were talking about it.
A little bit about him. He was married once to a hairstylist named Louis for 40 years before Louis' death in 1998. And he wanted to be a priest when he was 14, but was told he was too adventurous, which I think that's the priest back then way of saying, yeah, you're a little gay. But yeah, he wrestled all over NWA, Japan, Canada, all over the place. So, like Swervey said, he helped invent, he pretty much did invent the Royal Rumble. That was his idea. It was originally shot down because of the fact that their trial run was not successful, but when they did it on TV, it became a huge hit.
Yeah, because I think the first one wasn't even for anything important. Like, it wasn't for no world championship or nothing like that. They just had it, right? Just to be had.
Well, the first one was actually at a house show. They actually tried it out at a house show. And the fans were just like, fuck this. You just got guys in the corner just like, just doing rest holds for a while.
Yeah, I can imagine back then. That's all it was.
So it's just a bunch of head scratching. But then when they put it on the USA Network for their 2-hour special, it became a huge hit because that's an event that's made for TV. It's not made for the live show. It's made for the TV. But yeah, it actually did not become the winner goes to WrestleMania stipulation until 1993. So like a solid 7 years or something, they did it without any stipulation attached.
That's why we got to keep grinding, fellas.
That's right. That's right. Kudos to Pat Patterson. You changed the way wrestling is viewed. That's what his legacy will be in my eyes. You changed the way wrestling will be viewed. Did you guys want to finally move on to current events?
Yeah, I mean, if you're done playing 2K, yeah, we could definitely move on.
I'm not playing 2K. Schmuck.
Well, I hear the sticks going off in the background.
It's not just me playing the game, Drew. Damn. Enough is enough. All right, listen. Come out clean, man. I'm trying to take it a brunt for your quietness over here playing the game, man. It ain't just me. Some days it ain't even me, and you still talking about how it's me.
So you admit it might be you today?
No, there's no might about it. This definitely is me. I'm not playing 2K. I'm just saying, it takes two to tango, man. And I ain't the only one who brought my dancing shoes. So let's talk about it.
That's one thing that they need to fix on these controllers is the clickiness.
Right? Because, man, I can get away with some meetings, Nah, let me stop playing.
Oh, man.
Well, we will get into Dynamite from last week. Their special event,
It's,
their special event winter is coming.
I feel like
Uh,
we need some type of soundboard music for this show because, geez, Louise. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they put no thought into that title. But
yeah,
let's
it's definitely not a ripoff of Game of Thrones at all.
go.
We start off with a Jobber Battle Royal. The way that they're doing the Diamond Battle Royal thing here is it gets down to the final two guys, and those guys face off in a singles match the week after for the Diamond Ring. So this contained Miro, Hangman Page, John Silver, Scorpio Sky, Sean Spears, Mark Quinn, Isaiah Cassidy, Kip Sabian, Matt Sydal, Serpentico, Jungle Boy, Luther, Alex Reynolds, Orange Cassidy, Matt Hardy, Sammy Guevara, Joey Janela, Lee Johnson, MJF, and Wardlow.
Wardlow.
The match was actually pretty decent. I didn't mind it. It eventually got down to Jungle Boy, MJF, and Wardlow. I apologize, Sammy Guevara as well. So Sammy Guevara, Jungle Boy, MJF, Wardlow. The entire match, pretty much, Wardlow was just protecting those two guys. At one point, Sammy and Jungle Boy had gone up on the top rope, and MJF pushed both of them off, prematurely celebrating. Only to be informed that Orange Cassidy was still in the match. He was just outside in the ring. They brought him in. A little bit of a disconnect, and MJF accidentally eliminated Wardlow from the match. So now it will be MJF versus Orange Cassidy this upcoming week on Dynamite to see who's going to win the $50,000 diamond ring.
Now, question: did anybody know there was supposed to be two coming out of this?
So this is how they did it last year too.
Mm-hmm.
Because the finals last year was Hangman Page and MJF. But yeah, that's how they do this pay-per-view. Or not pay-per-view, this match.
I'm not mad at it. I mean, I always thought that the last two people in any kind of Royal Rumble should duke it out. They just basically separated it, so I'm not mad at that.
But what they did was they I'm sorry, what was that, Mac?
I was gonna say some Royal Rumbles, you do, depending on who it is, you do get the final two, going to their corner, getting themselves situated, and then coming out and acting like it is a wrestling match. Even though
I mean like an actual pinfall though. They still
I'm just saying, I'm glad that they're doing it this way. I think this is better because I think you should have the wrestling match determine, the last two left.
Mm-hmm.
Now this led backstage to the Inner Circle kind of blowing up with Sammy furious the fact that he got pushed out by MJF. MJF saying that it was an error. They argued back and forth, and Jericho basically laid down love. Hey, listen, next week we're all going to come together and we're going to agree to work together, or we're breaking up. So this week on Dynamite, we're going to find out if the Inner Circle's staying together or if they are disbanding. If they disband, I think it's kind of a shitty way to do it. Just to be like, yeah, next week we're just disbanding. Like,
I feel like they're going to spread it out a little bit more because what's the urgency in them breaking up right now? You just had a big event.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Unless you have some idea of actually giving somebody a big push, or doing a little bit of swerve where it's just like Sammy and Jericho get kicked out or something. That would be something interesting. But yeah, I don't even know where they would go with that. It'll be interesting, but yeah. The next match that we had was Frankie Kazarian taking on Chris Jericho. Frankie Kazarian showing up with his lockdown haircut. You could definitely tell that he's suffering from not having a barber. This match saw a lot of interference from Ortiz and Jake Hager. At one point, MJF showed up with a towel to throw in because of the Kazarian having Jericho in kind of like a Boston and grab. Sammy ran over to stop him and grabbed the towel from him, which is only what Jericho saw, is Sammy holding the towel. This led to that promo that I mentioned before this match, where they're like, yeah, we're going to decide either stay together or break up, because of the fact that MJF kind of made it seem like Sammy's the one causing all the issues. Now, of course, we have, replays. You can easily go back and just fucking watch what happened, but
Or
I'm
ask
sure they're
the
going to
others
act
who
like
were
there's
there.
no way of doing that.
Or just ask the others who were there. They could have vouched.
Exactly. Like, hey, what happened? Like, it just it just seems pushed, or rushed, if you will, a little bit. Next match that we do have is Britt Baker taking on Layla Hirsch. Hirsch did get a lot of offense for being a ham and egger.
Oh damn, Drew, you didn't do your special intro.
Oh, I'll get around to it. Don't worry. But eventually she would give up to the lockjaw. Thunder Rosa would hit the ring then, attacking Baker. Brawl would break out. Basically, they had to have the pull apart. Jerry Lynn ran out, which is something. But yeah, they had to do their little pull apart.
Never thought Jerry Lynn would be reduced to a pull apart boy.
I mean, he was making $25 in ECW, so this is actually probably pretty good.
I was joking. I knew he would be one. For Britt Baker, no less. Oh man.
So
Right.
the next match is the match that
boy.
we're really looking to talk about.
Oh boy.
Darby Allin and Cody Rhodes taking on Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. So, match all in all was actually really good. Rhodes and Allin did get the win. After the match, Team Taz did get the jump on them. Brian Cage came out, made the numbers game too great. They pulled out the FTW title to lay out Cody, and the lights went out. And when they came back on, Tony Schiavone gave us his best 1997. It's Sting! It's Sting! 61-year-old Sting.
Still
Oh,
Dave.
yeah.
All right. What do you
What
think?
is your opinions on this? I'm dying to know.
I want to know. I want to know about you first, man, because I just got to know, because I came prepared today.
Well, I'll go first. Neither you want to go. I was unenthused and like, what is the point of this? He's 61. What is he gonna do?
So, this is, for all intents and purposes, this is.
Wait, hold on. I smell apologist vibes. Continue.
This is ratings grab. This is, Tony Khan had already stated they have no intention of making Sting a full-time wrestler.
Yo.
They have no intention of even making him have bumps.
Yo.
It's really seeming like this is the guy who's going to come out when shit's hitting the fan for the baby faces and swing a bat around.
There you go.
I was super excited when it happened, but I was also super excited when I saw Suicide Squad.
I was not, because I remember 2014 and I said, nah, you're not doing this to me again.
Drew, why is it that AEW can do all this dumb shit, but when the WWE does it, well, because they do it first, you lambaste it like it scolded your parents?
Well, let me ask you something, Mac. How many days has Sting held the AEW championship?
0. But guess what?
There you go.
When guys come back for spots, what is the point? I don't get it. You've got
because Mac, when
that.
WWE does it, they
Oh.
put him in the main event and have him either squash a talent or win a championship.
Guess what, Drew? This is a rating grab. It's a
I told you it's a ratings grab. But
Well,
he's not burying somebody. He's not winning the belt.
That's why the WWE does it. Ratings grab.
I guarantee you they're not paying him nearly as much as Brock Lesnar's getting paid.
It don't matter, man. Listen, it's enough for them to get another set of the TV.
He can't do what Brock Lesnar can do right now. So I think that's fair.
He can suplex few people.
Yeah, I don't know. You have a hard time getting up.
Pause.
He should not take any bumps. He shouldn't be debuting.
Well, they already said he's not going to be taking bumps. He's going to be the guy who show up, get a pop, draw a rating. That's what he is.
Mm-hmm.
They have absolutely no intentions of having him be in any kind of active wrestling capacity.
It sounds good. He's in a wrestling capacity when the motherfucker showed up on the card.
What?
Recipes. He was there to create some type of fear. I don't know who's fearing a 61-year-old Sting.
Hey, you never driven out my way in the sticks. There's some scary 61-year-olds.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying. Come on, man. Enough with this lore that it's Sting. Shivani, this isn't Turner Broadcasting anymore, bro. Like,
It actually is Turner Broadcasting.
I mean, of the early 90s.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
And
His outfit was always cool, but his wrestling was never all that to begin with. And now that he's even 61, like, who's going to be afraid of him? Like, come on.
Just like they said in The Dark Knight, man. Joker said it best. You hate or you become what you hate. That's AEW.
But here's the thing. Sting is never not going to pop a number. No matter who he is involved with, he's going to pop a number.
Sting doesn't give a shit because the money's good.
Exactly.
Hey, Mr. Khan, will the check clear? Okay, awesome.
Exactly.
Hey, big man, this is Goldberg. Will the check clear? Awesome. So I don't want to hear this shit that you're talking about ratings grab. It's all about the money, Drew. End of the day. That's all it's ever been about.
That's what I just told you. I literally just said that.
Right, so don't give a shit when the WWE does it.
Because they're not putting him in the main event.
God.
He's not going to be main eventing Double or Nothing.
It doesn't matter, bro.
When Goldberg's main eventing WrestleMania and could barely get somebody up for a jackhammer, that's a problem. If Sting's showing up to swing a bat around at Taz, who cares?
Well, they would do that with Sting if they can go to Saudi and test it out first.
Right.
That's why they don't go to Saudi, so they can't do it.
Put a couple whole harmless agreements on it. Sting will be right. Listen, if you said, Sting, I got $50,000 for an appearance, I got $100,000 for you either taking a bump or getting involved with a kerfuffle for 20 seconds with somebody, what you gonna do?
Oh no, I didn't say he's not going to do that. He's willing to do that. It's AEW who's like, yeah, we don't need you to do that.
Yeah, but you act like AEW is just above it, and they're not.
I'm not saying that they're above it. I'm just saying, like, that's what. Listen, I'm just repeating what the guy fucking said. I'm just saying what he fucking said.
What was the purpose of him coming here? I just want to know.
Pop a number.
Okay.
We are in a pandemic. You're making your money off ratings. You're making your money off advertising. You need to pop a number. And believe me, they fucking did. Go home show for War Games, not even, was almost half of what AEW got.
We had a conversation not too long ago about what AEW needs to get a bigger draw or a bigger sale, more notoriety. And that this, what they literally did last Wednesday, was something that they didn't need to do. And here we are.
You don't think that they needed to bring this in to get a bigger pop, to get more eyes on the product?
Not staying? No.
Why?
Because no one's talking about it. Besides people in the wrestling
We're
community.
talking about it, motherfucker.
Besides people in the wrestling community.
We're talking about it. Every wrestling page is talking about it. Immediately.
You're literally not listening.
I am listening.
I could go to somebody. I bet you ESPN wouldn't highlight Sting coming back. This is a Bleacher Report highlight. This is an ESPN.
Let's see. Let's put that to test right now.
Yeah, some Jamoke is probably talking about it. Yeah, but this is Bleacher Report material. This isn't ESPN headline material. It's just not.
I'm pulling up articles right now.
Please do.
I'll just have to wait for a second. What's the ESPN headline material? Talk about Shaq?
Brock Lesnar.
Oh.
Damn sure ain't Sting.
So USA Today is not headline material. Sports Illustrated, not headline material. USA Today, was that a dirt sheet? What is that like? Is that like back alley? Newsweek. Is that what is that? Is that like that's some grimy shit you get behind TV Guide, right?
Yeah, because people are reading newspapers, Drew. You're right.
Okay, yeah. Nobody reads Newsweek.
No one's reading magazines anymore, Drew.
Okay. Well, they got a website, pal.
Is that all the places Sting was found?
I'm just giving examples.
Oh. So he wasn't on those places.
No, he was on those places, yeah.
I'm just saying it's Brock Lesnar's voice carries farther than Sting's does. And you know that. So I don't know why you're trying to argue.
Brock Lesnar's on ESPN because he was in UFC. And ESPN has an agreement with UFC. So yeah, they are going to be talking about Brock Lesnar a lot more.
Talk about WWE more than they do AEW because we all know why.
Because coach.
Hey, so be it.
Because you know goddamn well, everyone at ESPN laughs at WWE. They think WWE is a joke. They think it's a fake sport. The only reason they put that on is because it draws number. It draws a rating. It's not because of prestige. It's not because, oh my gosh, this is some serious journalism. They think it's a fucking joke.
Sting did not need to come to AEW. And I bet you, if I would have asked you the same question on our preview show, does Sting need to come to this AEW show, you would have said no.
And I guarantee if he showed up to Raw, you'd be like, oh shit, here we go.
Hell no. I don't care for Sting. Never have. He's not a Mac guy. Kurt Angle, Edge,
Yeah, that's something I also want to know. Why are you popping for Edge, who has a bad neck, who has a double fused spine, who got re-injured after having a terrible match at WrestleMania? That's okay. But Sting, get the fuck out of here.
Well, I mean, Edge was 61. I wouldn't be popping for Edge either.
Exactly. You talking about somebody who didn't want to retire, who got forced out because he had a bad neck?
He's still got a bad neck.
And him coming back, living his dream, defying the odds, you can't pop that?
So you're okay with 50, just not 60.
He like 46.
Exactly. You see how he is the most goal line and smooth motherfucker I ever met. You move the goal line every time you get the chance to.
I mean, you get this. Just be correct on the age. That's all I'm saying.
Oh no! I'm not talking about Edge. I'm talking about you guys constantly saying that The Rock should be at WrestleMania.
The Rock could clearly still go.
The
Sting,
Rock's 50.
however.
Please do not ever put The Rock and Sting in the same sentence.
The Rock's 50.
Yeah, but if he doesn't look like it, then
Who cares if he looks like it or not?
all right. Listen, dude, Sting is like Jake the Snake.
Exactly.
Okay,
Sting is not like Jake the Snake.
Even when he was in his prime, he was like Jake the Snake. He's never been that great of a wrestler. He just had the bat, and a bunch of guys were scared of it.
By the way, I was shocked to find out that Sting and Jake the Snake are almost the same age.
No, you shouldn't be, because that's when AEW bring guys in. Wait till
How many fucking matches has Jake the Snake Roberts had?
How many what?
How many fucking matches has Jake the Snake Roberts had in AEW?
0.
Exactly.
Jake the Snake
They're
can
not
barely
bringing
get to
him
the
in to
ramp,
wrestle.
so they're not gonna put him in the ring. He be having a hard time just talking to Lance.
Yeah, he's having a hard time just talking. God damn. That motherfucker is in rough shape.
Sting is a little better than that, but come on, man. Like don't compare to Rock.
The problem is with wrestling is that Sting could be 61 in real life, but in wrestling years,
89.
age. So I'm supposed to fear a man who hasn't wrestled in, I don't know, almost a real match, because I'm not going to count that Triple H shit, 12, 13 years. I'm supposed to fear you or
Whoa.
the
He
idea.
wrestled in TNA for a long ass time.
He was wrestling. When was his last match in TNA?
Let me see.
Oh, wait.
Wasn't 12, 13 years ago. That's for damn sure.
Okay.
Well, he did have a run in WWE. It was just terrible. That's part of the reason why I don't want to see him debut here. I mean, what is he going to do? He got beat the last place he was at.
Yeah. I'm not even counting that. I'm talking like.
And I'm not even talking about just Triple H. I'm talking about Seth Rollins too. Like, he didn't beat anybody.
I'm talking like I need legit night to night. You're showing up. You're talking. You're wrestling back to backs. I'm not talking the shit you're talking, Drew.
Sting's last match before showing up to WWE was in 2015.
I'm not counting that. Sorry.
You're not counting his last TNA appearance before WWE.
No.
Why?
Go watch it. I've seen it. Go watch it.
Who did he wrestle?
I don't remember.
Was it drunken Jeff Hardy?
No.
Was it AJ Styles?
No, it was EC3.
Even better. I'm not watching that shit.
Because you just said you fucking did.
I said again. I've already watched.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. You're that guy who everyone is talking about the brand new movie that came out in school, and you're like, yeah, no, I definitely saw that. Oh yeah, what was your favorite part of the movie? Oh, I liked when the guy said to the other guy, "Hey, get the fuck out of here."
Drew, I've seen the match. I just forgot who he wrestled.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah. No. You saw. You just didn't know. Who he wrestled or what the outcome was, or where it took place.
At the end of the day, people are griping that Sting showed up on his card and he didn't have a reason to. Didn't need to be there at all. And you're almost bringing down the product. Somebody like him had to show up. Where there's guys in the back that you could have put in the same spot who were able and capable.
So what number would Mark Quinn pull if he showed up to help Cody and Darby Allin? What number would he have pulled in the ratings? What would the endorsement say when they're looking to bring in new sponsors and said, "Hey, check this out. Mark Quinn is helping these guys out. Hey, check out, we got Matt Sydal."
Let me know the rating, Drew.
Million people watched, compared to NXT's 500,000.
Bro is literally pulling a Lillian Garcia right now. I'm just saying. The reason why we're so hot about this is because it didn't need to happen. Like, legit, did not need to happen. And everyone's saying, Sting is back. Sting is back. Back doing what? He's not wrestling, so what the fuck is he here for?
I think you're just mad that they're pulling in people that WWE normally would get.
Listen, they're competing with the B show right now. Don't even care.
No, that is what it is. Because if Sting showed up in WWE, you'd be talking about how great it is, just like you talk about how great Brock Lesnar is.
Brock Lesnar, again, please do not mention Brock Lesnar and Sting. Please.
I mean, when was the last time you saw Brock Lesnar have an actual match? Not just throwing somebody around the ring and suplexes. I'm talking about a real fucking match.
Lesnar, nor did or will never will. Or AEW will never have that. And I'm not saying this because I'm a Brock homer, but I'm just saying this because it's true.
If Sting came back to the WWE, I would be even more upset.
Exactly.
Because he can't, he's too old to right the wrongs. So, like, what are you going to do?
Like the same shit with Undertaker. Swerve's like, yo, please end this. I don't want to see this anymore. What's the purpose? What's the point?
Exactly. And I'm an Undertaker fan. Like, this got to stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see this no more. Like, please.
But here's the difference between AEW and WWE. They can still put together a match with Undertaker, have it look better than anything Sting can do or has done since 2015.
Are you fucking out of your mind?
No.
Do you see Undertaker's last matches? Besides the Boneyard match, which took 7 hours to film?
I don't care if it took 27 hours. It was better than anything Sting did.
Yeah, because it was fucking backlot fucking filming. I could have a great match in 27 hours.
Well, shit. AEW, follow suit.
Let's just move on to the next match.
Yeah, please.
We still on AEW.
Let's move on from Sting, please. Don't.
By the way, I can't wait till Kane comes back and you're like, oh my gosh, Kane is back. It's so great. Oh my gosh.
I will never pop for somebody who should not be there. Kane, the mayoral seat holder in Tennessee, he should not be wrestling. I will not pop for Kane.
Motherfucker's gonna pop to Gangrel, but he's gonna shut on Sting.
I didn't pop the Gangrel.
You would.
No, well, he was in AEW, so I mean, let's talk about it.
He was there for a ham sandwich. Literally. Man needed to eat.
AKA the Boulevard of fucking broken dreams. Because that's what it is. All these old fucks coming back who don't need to come back. They've got young talent. They've got fresh story writers. Oh, wait a minute. Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Cody Rhodes, same booking themselves over, getting guys who didn't have a shot or a fair shake on the old program over. Who cares? Get this shit off my TV. And let's get to the main event, because I'll tell you why you need to get this shit off my TV again. Please. Let's get to it.
All right. Moxley versus Omega for the AEW World Championship. What?
This match sucked.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
I am not out of my mind. This match was terrible.
Why? Tell me why.
Okay. I don't know if it's because it's Dean Ambrose or John Moxley, rather, is this a bad wrestler? But I felt like there was no chemistry. The moves weren't hitting like they should have been hitting in a championship-changing match. I don't think this was a 5-star match or close to it, or one of the better matches, not to use Dave Meltzer's coined phrase for a match. But I just think that they left fans wanting more. And
I mean, Isn't that what you're supposed to do in wrestling? Leave fans wanting more?
No,
Or was you supposed to kill an angle after the first encounter?
Not in the way that I'm talking about.
Okay.
They didn't leave it all out there.
They kept some.
They never kept some.
Shit doesn't make sense. They left us wanting more. Okay, so make the fans come back. No, not like that. This doesn't fucking make sense.
I think it's just partly due to Moxley's fault because he's just not that great to watch.
Right.
I'm
It
not
is a clash of styles. I will admit.
I'm not against Kenny here at all. I think it's just Moxley that I don't care for his matches, and it's going to take a unicorn to like really pull something out of him to make it look like, oh, okay, that was amazing. Because I don't think I've ever said that about any of his matches, and this is across the span of both companies.
Well, his best match was what pay-per-view was that with? Was that Triple H or Brock? I forgot what pay-per-view it was. It was like before Mania.
Roadblock or something?
Yeah, and that was one of the better matches he ever had.
He's had decent matches, but I can't like go to the top of my head and say, oh, he had a 5-star here, or I don't think any of us can, right? Can you say that, Drew? Honestly,
what? About Moxley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he brings down the other top tier opponents in the ring with sometimes. I mean, he's in there with somebody like what's the last guy? Eddie Kingston? It's even more black.
That fucking clothesline. Enough already.
We did get the finale where they kind of imitated Jeff Hardy's head injury by having Kenny Omega fall to the outside on his head and needed medical attention, quote unquote. That's happening. Moxley grabs him, throws him back in the ring to fight him. Don Callis, who was there doing commentary because he's known Kenny Omega his whole life, came over to try and like break it up. Got punched and exploded into rose petals. While he exploded, he threw a microphone to Kenny, who blasted Jon Moxley and hit the One Wing Angel for the win. They then ran to a limo while they ran past the Hall of Ham and Eggs that was yelling at them, mad that they had stolen the title, while yelling that they will be on Impact on Tuesday. So check your local listings, please, because nobody knows what fucking channel that show's on. And yeah, it looks like they are working with Impact now.
I wonder what to extent though.
Well,
right, championship over there and defending it, quote unquote, over there and not bringing it back to AEW.
Well, from what I have heard, the only two confirmations for now, we are recording this on Tuesday, so the only two confirmations for tonight's Impact are Kenny Omega and Tony Khan. So I'm not sure if it's going to be something where Khan's coming out to do like a storyline where, you're breaching contract by being on the show, yada, yada. But it is going to be interesting to see if they are going to be doing talent swaps. Because it is something that will definitely help. It helped Ring of Honor out a lot with New Japan. It's always good to see, a fresh cycling of talent. And instead of seeing the same talent wrestle each other all over again, you can definitely get some good matchups. Impact does have a lot of good stars that just don't get featured because they're on Access TV. And I think this helps Impact a lot more than it helps AEW. But I think because Kenny's there and Chris Jericho's there and Callis is running the show in Impact, they're more inclined to work with them.
Two things. One, and both of these revolve around what I think this means for the future. One, I think in the very immediate, this is the full heel turn of Kenny Omega, displayed on high intense levels. I think this opens the door for the purchase of Impact by Tony Khan. And
I don't want to go that far. I don't believe Tony Khan's going to purchase Impact, because if he was going to be in the market to purchase Impact, he wouldn't have started up AEW. If that makes sense.
But hear me out, Drew. I think he's going to purchase that to expand what AEW has, which is them working on a second night, possibly a third night, expanding the roster, utilizing the talent that's over there.
So, whole thing is that, you know, like with New Japan and Ring of Honor, they do their working agreement where they have talent swaps and things like that. They do it very, you know, it's lucrative for both companies. And it's based on the talent's contract. Obviously, you know, if you're somebody who doesn't want to go to Japan, you don't have to, or vice versa. I personally can't see them being sold just because of the fact that Anthem just bought them like a few years ago. So with that, I can't see Anthem just quickly turning around and selling Impact. What I can see is just them doing a working arrangement.
For how long, though?
I mean, it depends on how lucrative. If it's something where it's not really helping them out a lot, they might cut it off. But if it's something where Impact sees a jolt in viewership, and, you know, AEW sees a jolt in viewership, they might continue it. I mean, you have all the people working in AEW, and you have Impact, who's partially owned by Steve Harvey. So, I mean, you know, you got that.
The Steve Harvey?
Yeah. Like Family Feud, Steve Harvey, yeah.
Wow.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, he's an investor in the company with Anthem, so he partially owns part of the company. But now this also begs the question of, is this the only company that they're going to work with? Are they willing to work with other companies? Could they possibly open this up to Ring of Honor? Could they open this up to New Japan? Could they open this up to AAA in Mexico? Could they open this up to NWA? If they were to open up their agreements with different companies, it could make things very interesting, because now what you are seeing is, you could definitely see, like, it becomes must-watch TV, because at any point in time, a top star from a company can show up on another show legally, and not just be they poached the contract, but Kenny Omega just showed up to, you know, Ring of Honor. Or
it's always more fun though when you don't expect it. When you know they're working together and you see them show up, it's like, oh, okay, all right.
But that makes it must watch, because you never know when somebody's going to show up. Because obviously, you know, if they're not working together, it's a lot easier to leak. Like, yeah, for some reason, Kenny Omega's at Impact Wrestling. I don't know why. But, I mean, if they're working together, there's really no shock in if he's backstage. He might just be doing his executive VP role.
Mm.
And that way, there's a lot less chance of an actual leak and a spoiler. But, I mean, one thing is for sure, Impact does have a really good women's roster, which is something that has been lackluster in AEW. So that will be something that's actually really exciting to see, is if those talent exchange. They also have a lot of good tag teams. They have a lot of good singles wrestlers too.
But Impact was like, yo, we need more exposure. Tony Khan was like, let me borrow some of your joints.
Pretty much. It pretty much happened like, yeah, we'll get exposure, but, you know, let us work with some of your talent. Let us have, you know, something to make people tune in.
I wonder what it's going to be like tonight. I wonder what the temperature is going to be like with this happening.
You don't have to wonder. You can tune in.
I don't even know what channel it's on.
Access TV.
Oh my god. Does TNT know about this?
Yeah. Well, I mean, TNT has nothing to do with it. They don't own the company.
I'm just saying, man. I don't know. I have no idea what this is going to mean for the future of AEW. And their championship picture. They are a company who loves long reigns, though. I will say that. So Omega will have the belt for a little bit.
Possibly. You never know.
Now, I'm going to ask you this, Drew. Does this mean, or do you think that this means that they're getting away from the match that everybody wanted, which was Omega and Page, or what?
I don't think this gets away from it. I think, here's the thing. If Omega is helping build his own storylines, then I can see that being something down the road. Omega is not the type of person who wants to build something quick. He likes his slow builds. You know, this whole heel turn thing of his has been happening over the course of several months. He's a fan of his slow builds. So I can definitely see that happening, especially with what Hangman Page is doing right now, where it seems like they're teasing his entry into the Dark Order, or at least a feud with the Dark Order if he's not going to be joining them. Now, let's say something happens where he overthrows Brody Lee and takes over the Dark Order. Now you have that as a situation where he goes, yeah, I'm not competing for that TNT championship. I want the world belt. You know, that could definitely happen. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot to look at. There's a lot to unload here. Impact does have a large roster of guys, a lot of good guys, a lot of stings. So there's a mixture.
Gotcha.
You know,
What's
for
next
every Sammy Callahan, they have a Rob Van Dam.
I think a merger is on its way, honestly. Why else would you leave after winning the championship and go to another show?
How long before they invade WWE?
Well, Triple H responded to this. Now, mind you, this is something so big that Triple H had to respond. And he responded by saying that WWE is open to working with companies.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
However, let's face it, it's WWE. I have a feeling that they're not willing to work with companies unless they know that they can buy that company. Mm-hmm. You look at people like Evolve Wrestling and I think it was IWC in England. These are companies that they worked with, quote unquote, but then they ended up buying them. I don't think that they're going to be willing to work with the company unless there's a direct line to them buying it.
That's what they mean by work with. They mean buy you. You work for us.
Yeah. So.
yeah, work with us, and then you'll work for us. What do you think is next for Moxley?
I think he's going to be doing a chase for the belt. I can definitely see him doing something in Impact where he runs through the roster because of him getting screwed over by their boss. But, you know, who knows? Or it might be something where they want to phase him out a little bit and let him come back, you know, to a pop.
To go back to the Performance Center and get some new moves.
Learning a new hold.
No needs to, because I'm tired of the clothesline. I'm tired of it. Let's move on from the clothesline, Dean. I'm not calling him John until he gets new moves.
Another thing to point out was as the event was going off the air, Eddie Kingston and what's his face? Lance Archer got into it on the rampway after the match. So I'm not sure if they're like teasing something for the live crowd that this is going to be a new feud, but Archer and Kingston started getting into it on the rampway.
And next pay-per-view is in what, 2 more months?
So their next pay-per-view is in 2 months. However, they are going to be having another super show on Dynamite on December 30th. So it looks like the storylines they got going on right now are going to be tied up on the 30th of December. And then they're going to be starting the storylines for the upcoming pay-per-view.
Right. A reimagined WWE Revolution.
What?
That sounds like a reimagined WWE Revolution. New Year's Revolution.
Oh, New Year's. No, it's Evolution. Or, yeah, might be Revolution. Who knows? But that's it for AEW.
I will say this. I watched more AEW than I did WWE this week. I'm coming over to the dark side, but you got to stop doing hokey shit. Because if Sting ain't coming back no other times, then I don't know what the hell the purpose was.
He's not going to be coming back. I mean, obviously he is signed to a deal with them, but I feel that he's going to be more of a figure there instead of a wrestler. So who knows? He might just take a guy like Darby Allin under his wing or something. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. Overall grades. I'll start. I'll go solid. I'll go solid B. B
C plus.
I'll go B plus.
Man, I wish Will Jeff was around. That way we get the no frail review of the show. We'll get him on pretty soon.
You know what though? He
that?
agrees with you though. I think with the Sting, because he never grew up watching Sting, so Sting means absolutely nothing to him.
But I grew up watching Sting, but I just know when ships have sailed. And I'm just like with Cody, like you got to know the ledge, and I don't know if he does, because it's just playing into yesteryear's lore, even down to Shivani. It's Sting! Like, you know how hard his dick got when he heard he was going to say that? Hey, man, let me talk to you over. Let me pull you to the side real quick. Yeah, Cody. Hey, Tony, next week at Winter is Coming, we're going to have you give the pop to Remember. And that was when Sting came out. I want you to drop your infamous "It's Sting" line, okay? Really, Cody? Seriously? You trust me with that? Are you going to give that responsibility to me? He popped when he heard that.
I'll tell you what.
Jumped out of his seat when he did it.
It didn't have the same sting, no pun intended, because Heenan wasn't there.
All right, sort of. And that's my issue with this, is that everyone was wrangled up and said, guys, buy into this idea. that yet again, I mean, we could count on our hands. This is like more than one too many old superstars who were in WWE and or WCW coming back to make appearances on the show. That, I mean, they need to be there. I think they know they're better than this.
I feel like they're doing a lot of this just to consistently have a million viewers. They want that consistent view base. I think that this is a big attempt at them trying to grow that viewer base, especially with the fact that they don't have the big revenue from actual seating. Because of the fact that you can't fill an arena, their money is mainly coming from not investors, but advertisers. In order to get better advertisers, you need to be bringing in ratings. So they're going to do what they need to do to bring in those advertisers and bring in those ratings. And if Sting showing up every so often, waving around a plastic bat does it, fine, fuck it, we'll do it. If that's what it takes. I mean, it's just like WWE whenever Steve Austin shows up. They make a big fucking deal about him showing up, flip people off, drinking a beer, and leaving. You know, but if it pops a number, certain people pop a number, no matter who they are.
I agree with that.
Especially on TNT with Sting, it pops a number. I know that he's not going to be a main event guy. He's not going to be in big angles, and hopefully he's not. I hope he's not. But I acknowledge why they're doing it. It's, hey, we need to hit a certain number so that we can increase our revenue stream, so that if big free agents become available that can be main event guys, we can go get them. Because I know the Khan family money sometimes grows on trees, but at some point that money's going to dry up if they're not bringing those advertisers. So they need to make sure that they are becoming a profitable company.
I can agree with that. And I could even go back to when you were talking about Austin coming back. I used to pop for that kind of shit. Like a dummy. Stone Cold, he's coming back on Raw this week. Oh, Stone Cold. And he wouldn't do shit. He'd be out there for 8 minutes. It had no impact on what's going on any storyline, on any angle, any championship. And I was like, yo, I keep playing myself, tuning in at 8 o'clock, live on the USA Network, like a dummy. And no more of that. So maybe that's why
it's the same thing when Brock comes back, and you know he's not wrestling because he has a movie coming out. So the studio is going to be saying, yeah, you're not wrestling, pal. So he's not in the ring, but he still shows up. It's going to pop a number.
No, if
Bret Hart shows up.
If Rock comes back, he's wrestling.
I mean, the last WrestleMania he showed up to, he wasn't wrestling.
That's more so an appearance.
He beat Eric Rowan in 6 seconds. What are you talking about?
Yeah, because Baywatch told him he couldn't take any bumps.
It's a match. It's a match, man.
The son of that silence is Drew not accepting that answer.
Hey, look, he ain't 68 either, so get mad if you want to.
He's only 50.
Are you going to tune in tonight to Impact?
Well, I don't have Access TV, so I will probably be catching it on a replay, the old-fashioned way.
I want to know what type of draw they get from it. I want to know how much of a bump the ratings.
I'll tell you something. If they do get a bump, it's going to be telling. If it's something where their ratings stay where they normally are, obviously, it's not going to be a great look. But if it's a sizable bump, it's going to be telling, and it's going to definitely help AEW's relationships with trying to get other promotions to do business. If let's say Impact draws 700,000 viewers, and they normally draw 300,000.
Yeah,
You're going to get Ring of Honor or something saying, "Yeah, hey, we'd like your guy to show up," or you're going to get New Japan saying, "Yeah, you know what? Come on over. That way we can get that American exposure."
which if New Japan does American work, holy cow, that'll be something.
Wait, what?
You know what I'm saying? If they're gonna do American work with AEW, holy cow.
Well, they got a lot of American exposure with Ring of Honor when the Bucks and Kenny were in Ring of Honor. But now that they're not, that's kind of dried up.
I was gonna say, I think already AEW has surpassed Ring of Honor exposure wise.
Oh yeah.
So that'll be huge.
But a big problem is they're like a jaded ex. They don't let things go easily. They sometimes be petty as Vince. And I know that Kenny left New Japan on not the best terms. So that could definitely hinder it.
Yeah.
What happened? You had a waifu?
No, what happened was they basically put a ton of money in just making him the biggest star they could in Japan as like a foreign star. And they made it very well known that he was going to be that foreign talent that was going to expose them to new places, and it was working and all that. And then all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, he just like shocked them with like a week notice saying, "Yeah, hey, I'm going to do this new thing, so I'm not re-signing." Like a week before he was supposed to resign.
And that right there is why Sony don't like Microsoft. All Kenny's fault.
Did you want to go into SmackDown?
We can.
Or do you just want to like randomly talk about WWE?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Or did you want to hop to some?
What's that?
I said, or did you want to hop to some dirt?
That's up to you.
Yeah, let's get some dirt jumping.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
So, we were talking about Sting, and Pro Wrestling Tees, which is the retailer for merchandise for AEW, announced that in 24 hours, Sting's merchandise broke their sales record. A sales record that actually was previously held by Owen Hart when he got his first T-shirt post-mortem. So that is a telling sign on the popularity, at least, that he can bring. Now, as far as if it will translate to more stuff, remains to be seen. But if you're upset about him showing up in AEW, just fucking wait. Because AEW confirms this week on Dynamite, Shaq will be live.
Abby and I chatted about this briefly. He jokingly said Shaq gonna come up, and if he does, that's gonna be crazy. Ugh.
Well, I mean, all this means is that the NBA on TNT is coming back, and this is just exposure on that. Which I don't know why they need.
They don't.
The NBA on TNT, but whatever. That's coming back in a couple weeks. So, I mean,
Shaq's finisher be.
CM Punk
yeah,
was on another podcast.
Wow.
He went right by that.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear that. I cut out. I'm sorry. What was that?
He said, "What would it be?"
I couldn't hear that.
What was Shaq
keeps on cutting in.
What is Shaq's finisher? What would it be?
Oh, what will be his finisher be? It's got to be something with his name in it. That's definitely.
I was thinking that. The Shaq attack? I don't know. A Fist of Furies and it just go to Shaq attack?
It'll be like the Frankensteiner, but it's a Frankenshacker.
Shaq Yugen.
Tomb Shack.
What'd you say?
Tomb Shack.
Tomb Shack. Oh man.
So CM Punk back at it again on a podcast. Last time he was on a podcast, he was on Cole Cabana's podcast. Cost them a lot of money in their friendship. This time he was on Renee Paquette's Oral Sessions, that being Renee Young's real name.
Oral what?
Oral Sessions.
That's the name of her podcast?
It is.
Wow.
And CM Punk, in classic CM Punk mode, he asked a similar question that I did last week when it came to the Twitch ban. Why is it okay for Xavier Woods to get a job on G4 TV, but not okay for Zelina Vega to have a Twitch? He pointed out that WWE and pro wrestling in general will never become unionized because there's far too many people in it for themselves and far too many people that will undercut their friends to get ahead.
100%
He says there. What's that?
I said 100% agree.
He says there's no such thing as, quote, the boys in the back, because the fact that when you leave that bubble, they stop caring about you. He says there's a lot of bootlickers out there who will make sure that they get theirs, even if it costs you in the long run. And he says you're supposed to lick the boot, not eat the whole thing. He also went back to the subject of getting passed up on movie roles and TV roles while in WWE because it got sent to people that they were trying to push instead. Brought up a cooking show that he wanted to do. Apparently, they pitched a cooking show for CM Punk, but they gave it to Bo Dallas instead.
I didn't see no Bo Dallas cooking show. Where is this?
Yeah, me either. Another thing he said was he was asked by Renee Young if Vince McMahon and Dana White are similar and who he prefers. And he says they're similar, but at the same time, Dana White takes care of his performers more, mainly financially. There's a lot of stuff in backstage as far as bonuses and things that people don't see that he gives out to the performers after fights. That's something that's just not done in WWE. So there's a lot in there. I recommend definitely checking out the podcast. It is on Spotify. Once again, it is Renee Paquette and Oral Sessions.
Crazy name for that.
Becky Lynch, finally at the peak of her injury. Her and Seth Rollins welcomed their daughter into the world this past week.
He said the peak of her injury. Oh man.
So there is a chance that we get her back for Royal Rumble. Just saying.
Really, Drew?
Hey, I'm being hopeful. Let me pull up the child's name right now. Roux.
Are we using that for
Roux.
Rule.
Roux?
Yeah, that's how you spell rule.
Roux Quinn Lopez is the child's name.
Lopez?
Yes.
Where did Lopez come from?
What's that?
So where did Lopez come from?
Rollins.
Oh, Rollins is.
You know, those are working names, right? I'm being an asshole now.
Of course you are, schmuck.
Dark Side of the Ring. Very popular for Vice TV. So popular that they're now having 2 spinoffs. Dark Side of Football and Dark Side of the 90s. So it looks like those are going to be 2 spin-off shows coming from Dark Side of the Ring because of how popular it's been.
People love train wrecks.
Yep.
The last thing that we had was MJF. MJF got into a little bit of a Twitter feud this past week, and it came from him and Jericho's Le Dinner Debonair making New York Times Best Musicals of the Year list. It hit number 5 on Best Musicals of the Year. Now, mind you, there's been like 6 musicals this year. So it's expected that it would make at least the top 5. But because of this, MJF got into a little bit of a Twitter feud with Dionne Warwick.
Oh, that's what friends are for.
So Dionne Warwick was also in one of those musicals that was on that list. And she said, looking at this picture, this photo, it made me think that I was booked to wrestle somewhere. Almost called my publicist. MJF quick to say, you better pray you aren't, or you'd be in a world of pain, princess. Hashtag better than you. They went back and forth. It looks like they were just like jokingly going back and forth. Nothing was too serious.
Oh, so they're not going to take this to the streets, then, is what you're saying?
What's that?
So they're not taking this to the streets. They just going to keep it on Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Dionne might be gangsta, but I mean, yeah, it looks like it's just going to be on Twitter. I don't know who Dionne Warwick's publicist is, but I mean, she's putting up videos and shit. You know, she's really savvy with Twitter. More savvy than I am. Fuck. But that's all I got. It was a slow fucking week.
That's what friends are for.
I just saw the MJF was going back and forth with Dionne Warwick and thought it was the greatest thing in the world. AEW would try to fucking sign her, by the way.
As long as you acknowledge.
So what do we got in the land of WWE?
I'm sure the head of the table did something.
I know Kevin Owens called him a bitch. I said bitch.
I almost had to wrestle somebody. I almost had to take care of a situation. Well, my wife said it's handled. Downstairs neighbors.
Yeah, yours going off too? I hear mine right now.
They parking in the area that they don't have access to.
Mm.
I fucking hate that shit. Our neighbors next door, we have like an area where there's like a little like driveway that leads to our back apartment. And it's a no parking zone for obvious reasons. And this fucking bitch thinks that it's her own private parking spot, which makes it almost impossible for us to get out of our fucking apartment.
Yeah, I can't. I hate this place.
Well, you just moved in.
I hate it.
Oh, make no mistake. He knew he was going to hate it before he went in.
Yeah, I didn't know I would hate it to this extent though. Like I hate living here.
Can I assume that this was a happy wife, happy life type of decision? Like it's a you decision, babe, not a me.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you mean the wife is her mother.
Oh, her mother chose this shit out for you.
Yeah, because her mother, who I don't speak to, is real careful with her words. An artist, if you will.
So she sells snake oils on the side.
Exactly. This is by far the worst and most toxic apartment I've ever lived in.
And he's only saying that because he didn't live here in mine.
I was gonna say, every time I came over to record in your old apartment, I felt like I was gonna fall through the floor. And we also got yelled at all the time for leaving the door slightly open. So if this place is more toxic than that place,
oh, Drew,
I am shocked.
That is like moving to Bel Air.
Damn.
Were you at Bailey? Or were you at Perry Street?
Like,
we on a podcast now.
This is like,
oh, come on, they know who we are.
If Will Smith this is Carlton's story. A man who grew up in Bel Air, California, moved to the sorry streets of Philadelphia. You know, this is like that. Oh my God, it's horrible. I can't wait to move. I said it this morning. If we get another stimulus, we're saving it for a down payment. We're getting the hell out of here. Like, we're almost to a point now with a down payment where we, have a decent one, but the stimulus will put us over. I mean,
if we get a stimulus,
right? I hear banging every day, cursing. The mother and the daughter fight. The daughter and the baby father fight. The baby father and the mother of the daughter fight. The sister fight the mother. The sister fights the sister. The sister fights the baby father. It is a fucking David Arquette Royal Rumble in this bitch every week. And I don't mean like
David Arquette Royal Rumble, huh?
Yes. That Royal Rumble. Like, you'd think the shit would be in a movie. This shit is real life.
Oh, fuck.
Like, it's getting to a point where the last fight they had, I was like, damn. The daughter called the mom a crackhead bitch. It's like, yo, CPS needs to get involved immediately. And for a couple days, it was quiet. So
maybe somebody's in the hospital.
The daughter said, I'm going to live in a shelter. Fuck the $50 I give you each month. Oh, they said something to my wife. Oh, this is breaking news.
Wish I could pay $50 each month.
I like how even though we're not there, it's become like a hood watch Like what's going on? What's going on outside?
You're gonna hear what they said to her because they said something. Probably they're gonna move in a couple of minutes or something like that.
Now they saying I'm about to call my brother. He just got home.
Something like that.
He gonna come level this whole place.
Well, the story is they're pissed at us because the daughter of the mother couldn't get the upstairs because the dad gave it to us. So
y'all was enemies from day one then.
exactly. Okay, here we go. Breaking news. Hey, babe. Okay, so the streets want to know what was just said. What was just said to you?
What do you mean?
Downstairs. You got to come talk to the mic. Pause. Didn't it say nothing to you?
No, I said, because I was on the door. I said, y'all come. She was leaving out. I said, y'all coming back in. She said, no, but they about to leave. I'll let you put it in there.
Oh, okay. So that was a car out there then? Oh, that horn. Yeah, that's the car. Yeah, okay. So nothing was said. That was crazy.
You thought it was drama?
I don't know who that dude is downstairs. I hate this place.
That's true.
All right. All right, so we're back. We're live. Nothing happened downstairs.
I'm gonna have a tough time with that one in the description.
This is like the Flossie Carter day in the life. Yeah, so the head of the table. No, there was something I was gonna say that was like a side addition to Dirt that Swerve, I know you're gonna super pop over, but there's talk that Charlotte is coming back, and she's coming back very soon. When I mean very soon. And could be. The plan is to incorporate Andrade in the plans with Charlotte, have them team together. And the team part would essentially mean Andrade will get pushed to the top.
Let's go, intergender power trip.
So I'll ask you, this obviously moves up Andrade's stock for Royal Rumble, if true. Do you think that this can result in Andrade winning the Royal Rumble or getting close to it, being one of the main players, Final Six?
No.
I mean, Charlotte didn't bring that many viewers to NXT when she went back, so I'm going to say no as well. But he'll probably do something good after that.
So
if they're together, he is going to be her Virgil.
So you don't think that this is going to be considered a rehash?
No, I think it'll be a rehash for him. I just don't think he's going to have an immediate, an immediate good run. I think it'll be something good for her right now, and then they're going to focus on him later, maybe after the Rumble. I don't think he's going to have anything good right now. Because they still got, what's the guy's name? Angel Garza. They're probably going to throw him right back with him. You know how they do.
That happening. I see a legit singles push coming.
Hey, I hope there is one, but I don't know if it's going to be like immediate push. I mean, the plan, you're thinking like because they're going to work them into an angle with the both of them. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I think so. I think we're talking Royal Rumble time. Now, what I'm afraid of is him giving this set push for a month and then going back to fighting Sami Zayn for the IC championship, which by no means is that a bad thing. But I
Right.
think the goal here is to get him to the next level. That's taking a few steps back.
Yeah. He didn't
So,
really sustain himself in the mid card level yet, but yeah, I get it.
um, I didn't watch anything this week, so I'm having a hard time trying to figure out what happened without looking.
I know Jey Uso snapped and beat Kevin Owens and Otis down with a steel chair. Otis sure went from a prized boar to ham and eggs real quick.
Prize boar.
I mean, look at the guy.
Yo, it's uneventful storylines and angles that they have right now. I mean, the Hurt Business, yeah, they're taking shit over on Raw, but that's going to end pretty soon.
Well, here's something interesting that happened on there. Natalia beat Bailey, and everybody's wondering why.
Really?
Because she never beats anybody. And Bailey had that huge run where she's in a feud with Bianca Belair. And it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for Bailey to be losing matches like that.
I mean, it's just non-title, so who cares?
Um, you should care when you just got out of a long championship reign. It should make a difference.
But it's WWE. They don't really
You're
put
right. Not Sting
any
Day.
stock to it.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, if it's non-title, you know the champ's losing.
No, there's no champ in this feud that I'm talking about. It's Natalia and
Oh,
Bailey.
fuck, right. I'm you know what? I'm so used to Bailey being the champ that I forget that she's not anymore. God damn.
Yeah, she's not the champ. It's her, Bianca Belair, and Natalia just won. Which, any other time I'm not mad at, but like, why now? Why would you choose now to make her win? Like, what are you doing to Bailey here? Did she piss off somebody in the back?
Maybe make her or give her appearance in a Royal Rumble a little bit more validity
Who, Bailey?
for Natty.
Honestly,
Yeah, you know what it is?
I hope that Bianca
In her
has
contract, she's contractually obligated to win 7 matches, and we're rolling down in the year, and she's only won like 5. So,
Okay, Drew.
and your boy Big E came out to some new music. Did anybody hear it? I didn't,
Oh,
and I wanted to.
yeah, I did see that. You got the chalk back. I mean, the music's all right.
yeah,
He's
I
still
don't know
kind
why the
of
fuck he
New
brought
Day.
back that fucking powder.
He's still wearing New Day shit though.
Yeah.
He's still wearing New Day shit, but it is new music.
You know, when he would come out with the powder and shit, it was when he was pretty much a jobber. So now that he's popular, it's like, hey, let's go back to that old shit that you did when we almost let you go because you weren't fucking going anywhere. Let's do that again.
Well, he was next to Young Dolph during those days, so I don't know. I do think he can be one of the final 4 or 6 in the Royal Rumble still. I just don't know if I got to see where these next couple of weeks take him in this singles run, because ever since they've been split up, they kind of been still appearing together.
I'm just concerned though because they don't give hokey shit like that to serious competitors or challengers for the belt.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna see Drew McIntyre get hit with shit like that.
Well, I mean, he's a special case. I won't. He's had it before.
You mean they put the machine behind him?
Huh?
You tell me they put the machine behind Drew?
Did they put the machine behind him? Yeah, they did. Now it's about he's done the hokey stuff you talking about though. He's done that before. Let's not forget 3 and B.
Hey, you put some goddamn respect on the name.
Listen, I'm the one that's cheering for him. I'm still waiting on Slater. Hit the roids and come up. You know what I mean?
Well, he's injured right now, but he's an impact.
Ugh.
You know what that means, don't you? We finally guaranteed Slater Kenny Omega a dream match.
Damn. Oh, well, that means when Slater comes back to the WWE, that's when he'll get the proper just due. Okay.
Yeah, he gonna be ready then. Should be about 48 years old.
I got you. That makes all the sense in the world now. TLC's in a couple weeks. No, TLC's next week.
It's kind of the same, but yeah.
The 20th. Carmella's challenging Sasha for the belt. KO against Reigns.
And once again, we don't know who's the face and who's the heel because they have them both acting snobby. Carmella and Sasha, that is.
AJ and McIntyre. Wyatt versus Orton. Nia.
Let's slow down for that. Like, what do you guys think about that right now? I know we talked about it before, but do you see anything positive coming out of that Wyatt versus Orton match? Or Fiend versus Orton?
Hopefully the end of the feud.
Yep. That is a perfect let me take a shit match. It's going to be 20, 21 minutes. I definitely will be able to get a nice bathroom break in watching that.
They're gonna have some theatrics though because it's Orton and they hold them up there. So
it's a match they don't need to have.
But they need to fill a slot, or else it's gonna be a 2-hour pay-per-view.
I got an idea. Why don't they bring in Sting? Don't wrestle. No, just bring him in there. I love you, Drew. He's probably listening.
No comment. No fucking comment.
Oh boy.
I think they dropped the word King from your man Baron, or did they? Are they still calling him King Corbin?
Yeah, I haven't heard King in a while.
No, I don't think so. I definitely don't think they're calling him King Corbin anymore. I mean, whatever. I'm not like.
When are we gonna do the jobbers or the jobbies?
The jabronis?
Jabronis.
Well, we normally take off the week of Christmas. So as it stands right now, we have 2 weeks left. No. We have 2 weeks left of the year. So we could do the 29th or the 23rd, or if we take that whole week off, then the 29th.
Yeah, let's do it the last week of the last week of the year.
That way, in case anything happens at TLC, that we're like, that's a fucking jabroni right there.
Yeah, we want to make sure we include everything. We don't want to leave nothing out like the Game Awards be snubbing people.
So how about this? Next week we talk about the categories, and then we come up with winners for those categories.
Yeah, we'll even get Twitter involved with some of the categories that we have. If you listen to the show, this is the 3rd annual Jabronis. You'll have categories like Match of the Year, Pay-Per-View of the Year, Swervy's favorite, Jabronette of the Year, which I know he's looking for Dana Brooke. Is it Dana Brooke for her third in a row?
Nah, it was someone else that's taking her spot. I gotta try to remember her name right quick, but somebody else is gunning for that spot now.
Now, are we going to include AEW and WWE together? Because I don't think we did last year.
It's up to you guys.
I'm
If
good.
you, what's that?
I'm good with that.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that then. We'll include that. What we'll do is we'll do the categories now. Of course, we have match of the year and stuff like that, but then we have worst match of the year, worst pay-per-view of the year, things like that.
Eddie Kingston versus John Moxley. Worst match of the year.
Yes.
Hey, now the categories are not out yet, so save your voting. The way that we do it is each of us picks a winner. On the 22nd, we each give our winner, and we try to convince the other hosts why ours should win.
Mm-hmm.
We vote, and we tell you who wins.
I will say this, though. To give a preview. Eddie Kingston and John Moxley going to get my vote just off of this.
Hey, if I come up with something even better, though.
I'm just saying, man. I was Snorlax on that motherfucker. I don't know.
So you think it was worse than Edge and Randy Orton at Mania?
Drew, we're giving the people too much right now. You got to give me time to think. Hold on.
Right.
All right.
He brought up the sore spot, Edge and Randy Orton.
Because, I was hot for that when they did it. And when it came on that Tuesday, I was like, yo, this isn't good. I know who my jabroni of the year is, though. I can't wait.
We also do Hall of Fame. So we do 3 inductions into the Hall of Fame every year.
Yep.
I can't wait.
Baron Corbin, you've been letting me down, bro. Maybe you want to strip you of your status, man. Maybe you want to take away your title, just like Reggie Bush got his taken away in the NCAA. It took his Heisman away. I want to take your Hall of Fame down my way, bro. But you earned it. Yeah, very exciting. So next week we will preview TLC, because we're going to be out post TLC. We're going to talk about the impact, pun intended, that Kenny Omega has had on that show. We're going to talk about AEW and the fallout of Winter is Coming. And then we're off for a week. And then you get one more show until the year 2021. And let me just say, I was thinking about this earlier. This year has been so screwed up for, I normally would say a lot of people, but I'm going to say for everybody. Something good has to happen at the turn of this new year. I feel like something's coming. I don't know what it is, but something's got to wipe away the stigma that 2020 has brought into the atmosphere. And we hope to end off the year right with a hell of a show and our 3rd annual Jabronis. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna be sounding like we're liquored up. We're gonna be feeling pretty good. Who knows? We could have special guests. We'll see. That's something we could talk about as well. But then after that, it is the road to WrestleMania, Royal Rumble. We got the bullshit pay-per-view in February and March. And then April is the granddaddy of them all. And I know this is where No Chill, Swervy, and I pop the loudest. So we want you to pop with us too. Hit us up on Twitter. Hit us up on Facebook. No Pyro Podcast. Hit us up and do what, Swerve?
Listen if you can. Subscribe if we let you.
Come on.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You gotta subscribe on YouTube. We might have to do a grand giveaway. Listen, I'm next gen Mac, but I'm not giving away my consoles. Will entice you.
You don't have to. You can sell them for $2,000.
Well, the other day, a friend of mine said that he could have got a PlayStation for $650. I said, dude, no, they would have took your $650 and then the system they were selling to you, and you would have got robbed.
Yeah, he would have
That's
came back with like an easy bake oven or something.
that right. That sounds like a setup to me.
They're looking to hit a lick.
Yep. Oh, whoa,
Yep.
whoa, wait.
I'm in these streets.
Whoa. Wait, Drew, where did you learn that, Drew? What you know about hitting licks?
I want you to guess where I learned that.
Yeah, because I don't talk like that.
Twitter?
Jury duty.
Jury duty, you learn about.
Wow.
Okay.
You had jury duty recently?
A few years back.
Uh,
He was on trial for hitting a lick.
well,
They
licks
put
need to be
trial
hit.
for that?
What's that?
They put
I
you on
said,
trial
well,
for
licks
that?
need to be hit. So,
All right. Well, whatever. Well, the world keeps turning. Anyway,
I just threw you completely off with that.
you did. My name is Total Mac. For Swervily and No Chill Drew. This has been another episode of the No Pyro podcast. We hope to see you all next week. We are out this bitch like a newborn. Deuces.